The pyramids of Egypt stand as some of the most extraordinary achievements in human history, yet they remain shrouded in mystery. How did ancient builders, more than 4,000 years ago, construct such immense monuments without cranes, advanced machines, or modern tools? Could their methods have been more advanced than we imagine? Were ingenious engineering techniques lost to time, or, as some suggest, might their creation even hint at influences beyond the ancient world? The Great Pyramid of Giza, in particular, made from millions of limestone and granite blocks, each weighing several tons, demands an explanation. Even today, the accuracy of its construction continues to spark new debates. The question remains timeless. How were Egypt's pyramids really built? The pyramids were built during Egypt's Old Kingdom, a period of prosperity and centralized power that began around 2600 BC. This was a time when pharaohs sought to immortalize their reigns through colossal monuments. The earliest pyramids evolved from simpler rectangular tombs known as mastabas, which stacked upward into stepped designs, and eventually into the smooth-sided pyramids we recognize today. The Great Pyramid at Giza, constructed for the pharaoh Khufu, rose to nearly 500 feet in height and was the tallest structure on Earth for more than 3,000 years. The labor force behind these projects was enormous, requiring not only stonecutters and haulers, but also engineers, surveyors, cooks, and administrators working together in a vast and organized system. One of the first mysteries of pyramid construction begins with the stone itself. Historical evidence shows that the bulk of the material was limestone, quarried locally near the Giza Plateau. These softer blocks made up the pyramid's core, while higher quality limestone used for the outer casing was transported from quarries across the Nile River. The granite found in the inner chambers, however, came from Aswan, located over 500 miles to the south. Transporting this heavy granite across such long distances raises one of the great logistical challenges. Historians believe large sledges were dragged over prepared paths, and when moving stone along the Nile, cargo boats carried them north during the annual flooding. Archaeological discoveries, such as ancient harbor works and fragments of boats, have helped confirm that the river itself was the lifeline of pyramid construction. For many centuries, popular imagination suggested that slaves built the pyramids, but evidence tells us something very different. Excavations around Giza have revealed worker villages with substantial housing, bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. This shows that the pyramid builders were organized laborers who were housed, fed, and cared for, suggesting they were valued participants in the project rather than expendable slaves. Studies show that seasonal laborers, drawn from farming families during the agricultural off-season, may have formed the bulk of the workforce. They were supported by permanent skilled crews who handled stone carving, engineering, and surveying. Today, historians estimate that tens of thousands of people may have been involved in pyramid building at any given time, though not all were directly hauling stone. Many worked as support staff, ensuring that such a massive workforce functioned smoothly. Perhaps the most debated question concerns how workers moved stone blocks that sometimes weighed more than 70 tons. Some traditional theories suggest that stones were hauled across the desert using sledges dragged by teams of men and oxen. In 2014, wall paintings found in the tomb of an overseer depicted exactly such a scene. Laborers pulling a sledge, while another man poured water onto the sand ahead of it. Experiments have shown that moistening the sand reduced friction dramatically, allowing sledges to slide more easily. Other theories suggest that logs might have served as rollers under the larger blocks, though evidence for this method is less consistent. Archaeologists continue to test these possibilities through experiments, and each sheds light on how practical, hands-on methods could have achieved results that once seemed impossible. If the pyramids were built one stone at a time, then how were huge blocks lifted to ever-increasing heights? The most widely studied answers involve ramps. One theory proposes a straight, massive ramp leading up one side of the pyramid, but calculations suggest this would have required more material than the pyramid itself. Another possibility is a zigzagging or spiral ramp wrapping around the structure, allowing stones to be dragged upward in stages. French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin has presented a hypothesis that an internal spiral ramp was built inside the pyramid, hidden beneath its outer walls, providing access while reducing the material needed on the outside. Evidence remains debated, as direct archaeological confirmation has not yet been found. Nevertheless, ramps remain the leading explanation, suggesting that simple tools and clever engineering were more important than lost advanced technologies. Another remarkable aspect of pyramid construction lies in their extraordinary precision. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned to true north with astonishing accuracy, within a fraction of a degree. Its base is almost perfectly level, despite each side being more than 700 feet long. Historian studies suggest that builders used tools like plumb bobs, leveling instruments, and sighting rods to survey the land. Some experts believe star charts and observations of the constellations helped align the structures. Others suggest reliance on solar observations, such as tracking the shadow of the sun at noon to determine exact cardinal directions. Whether through astronomy or careful surveying, the builders demonstrated a level of planning and mathematical understanding that remains impressive even by modern standards. Throughout history, the mystery of the pyramids has fueled countless alternative theories. Some have speculated about lost advanced civilizations, while others have suggested extraterrestrial help, pointing to the sheer scale of the monuments as evidence. These ideas remain outside mainstream archaeology, but continue to capture the imagination of the public. Academics point out that similar large-scale projects in other regions, such as Stonehenge in Britain or large ceremonial mounds in the Americas, were built through human ingenuity without advanced technology. The pyramids stand apart for their size and longevity, but most archaeologists see them as an extension of humanity's ability to solve problems with available resources. Still, the endurance of alternative theories reflects the sense of awe these monuments inspire, and the gaps in evidence leave room for ongoing speculation. Insights into the lives of pyramid workers have added an essential human dimension to the story. Excavations at the worker villages near Giza revealed evidence of organized meals, including bread and beer rations provided daily. Animal remains discovered at the site show that beef, goat, and sheep were part of their diet, suggesting that workers were given high-quality food for strength and morale. Human remains discovered in cemeteries nearby show healed injuries, suggesting medical care was provided, and workers were not simply abandoned when hurt. Such findings transform our understanding of pyramid construction, showing not faceless laborers under the whip, but rather a community of trained individuals who lived and worked together in pursuit of a shared project. Pyramid construction gradually declined after the Old Kingdom, as later generations favored smaller temples or rock-cut tombs in the Valley of the Kings. Yet the legacy of the pyramids endured. They became enduring symbols of pharaonic power, inspiring awe not only among Egyptians, but across the ancient world. When Greek historian Herodotus visited in the 5th century BC, he recorded stories of how the pyramids were built, though his accounts now appear exaggerated. Their survival through thousands of years of wind, erosion, and even attempts at dismantling has ensured their place as some of the most recognizable monuments on Earth. The pyramids are still studied today, and each new discovery, whether a hidden chamber revealed by advanced scanning or an artifact unearthed near the worker villages, adds more detail to the picture of how these massive monuments came to be. The pyramids of Egypt remain the largest puzzles of the ancient world, standing as both monuments of power and human achievement. The most convincing evidence suggests that they were built neither by lost technologies nor alien hands, but through human ingenuity, careful planning, and a vast workforce supported by systems of logistics and organization. Even so, many details remain unknown, such as the exact design of the ramps or the methods for raising the largest blocks. The fascination endures precisely because the answers are not complete. The Great Pyramid and its companions remind us that ancient people overcame extraordinary challenges through determination, problem-solving, and cooperation. As new discoveries continue to emerge, the story of how Egypt's pyramids were really built grows ever more fascinating, keeping alive one of the greatest historical mysteries of all time.